can still continue to operate. We should include those businesses that were operating in red to operate in purple. The museums, the churches, the restaurants, the gyms should all be allowed to operate at capacity.
Yay!
So I want to see forward progress. I know we are the land of opportunity, and the opportunity is to both fight the virus and open our economy. We want to keep the businesses open again. Businesses that were open last week, who according to our numbers here at the county, are not the problem. They are not the cause. They are the answer. Once again, this is not a choice between opening up businesses or saving lives. We can do both. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you so much, Supervisor Desmond, for those great words. And you know what, let's take a time out right here. We're going to do a little cheer. When I say open, you say Diego. Open.
Diego.
Open.
Diego.
Open.
Diego.
Thank you very much. All right, we got East County in the house. Mayor Bill Wells, everybody.
Yay!
Hi, everybody. How are you today? Thank you so much for coming out. I want to
Could be
thank
better.
you for inviting me and all the other people that organized this great event. There is more to living than being afraid to die.
That's it. That's right.
Every day we have to make choices, and we have to balance those choices with the risk versus the benefit. I'll tell you a little story about my kids. I got two kids that are laid up today. This morning I had to take my oldest son to the VA hospital. He got hurt in Afghanistan, had several surgeries, and today he had his little tiny baby pinky amputated, and he's going to be fine. But I remember when he applied for the Marine Corps, he was a little guy at that point. Now he's a big, strong man, but at that point he was kind of a little guy. He was only 17 years old. And we went to the recruiting station, and the recruiter said, "Hey, I'll make sure we keep him out of combat. Don't worry, I'll put him in supply or something." And I said, "You know what? He's a man. Let him do what he wants to do." And he decided to go into forced recon, which is the most dangerous thing you could do in the Marine Corps. And he doesn't regret it. And he paid a price for that, and he got injured. But I think that if you talk to him, I know that if you talk to him, he would tell you that the benefits of that, of him being the person he wanted to be, living the life he wanted to live, and the way he wanted to live it, it was worth it to make that choice. And what's different between this scenario and the scenario that is happening with us right now is he had the choice. See, you're not being given a choice. You're told you have to live in fear. You're told you have to behave a certain way. And that if you don't do that, you're going to be a pariah. And let's just be completely honest. This is not about science. This is not about medicine. This is about politics.
That's right. That's right.
That's right. All about politics.
And I can prove it to you because I have to go back a little bit. A couple of months ago, I was feeling very, very sorry for all the people that were living in my city. People were coming to me on the street, they were emailing me, they were calling me, they were texting me, and they were saying in various ways, "We are so desperate. We feel helpless and hopeless. We don't know what's happening to our city. We don't know what's happening to our country, to our county, to our state. And we don't know where we fit in any of this because we don't believe the things that they're telling us we have to believe." And it became clear to me that I had to do something. Now, the easiest thing for me to do as a politician is to stand back and not do anything and just kind of take cover so I don't get in trouble. But I long ago decided that I was going to do the right thing no matter what. So I got out in front of cameras and I wrote an op-ed and I said, "Look, we are not going to send the police out to arrest people for not wearing a mask. We're not going to send." If somebody calls up and says, "Hey, my neighbor's having a party, I think there's more than 5 people there, could please send the police?" And believe me, this is not hyperbole. This happens every day. Our police department gets phone calls to get involved in mask disputes, in neighbor disputes about too many people. There are, what do they call them, Karens out there that are working overtime to snitch on their neighbors. And so So I thought it was important that I get in front of people and say, hey, don't worry about that. I can't promise you the county won't fine you. I can't promise you the courts won't give an injunction against you. I can't promise you what the state of California would do. But I can promise you that we're not going to roll police on these minor squabbles and disputes involving the COVID-19 outbreak.
Thank you.
Yay!
But more importantly than that, I thought it was important that I stand up and tell people, you're not alone. You're not crazy. Your ideas are not wacko. Your ideas are being championed by a lot of really important people. You look at the Oxford study, which agrees with most everything that you all believe in. You look at the WHO, which a few months ago was the gold standard for this. And now they came out and said, you know what, social distance or the lockdowns just don't work. And so now they're pariahs. Their opinion no longer is valid. You look at even Governor Newsom, who started this whole process by telling almost everybody is going to eventually be exposed to this, which, by the way, I think is the normal course of events for a virus. So I want to remind you that this is mostly political, and you're being demonized because you are representing a political view that is not popular in the state of California.
Freedom?
And so I think, yeah, well, freedom is a big part of that, isn't it?
Freedom.
Freedom! Freedom! Freedom!
I'm talking too long, but I wanted to give you a couple statistics. By the way, my background is in mental health. I have a doctorate in psychology and an RN, so I'm not completely unaware of some of these things. From the Behavioral Medical Journal, suicide rates are up in some places 145%.
Give it back to them.
There's a RAND study that says binge drinking amongst adults is up 40%. Domestic violence is up at least 10%. And this is the one that really gets to me. Being a kid that came from a divorced family, divorce rates are up 34% this year. Now, there's going to be long-term consequences to this, way beyond the controversy about the virus. The divorce statistics alone will haunt children up into their adult years. It will affect their own children and their grandchildren. The residue of divorce will last for generations. All of this is bad news, and we need to stand up and fight. I'm going to wrap up here, but I remember when President Trump won his election 4 years ago. We're not done there, are we?
No, we're not.
And people in the FBI and people in the State Department, people in all kinds of government agencies, and people in the media all started the resistance movement. I started hearing that word resist. So I think it's time for us to resist.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Time for us to depoliticize something that's a medical problem, not a political problem. We need to depoliticize it. We need to begin to resist. It's time to protect those suffering from isolation, suicidality, alcoholism, divorce, domestic violence, education. Oh, by the way, another thing. You know that if you have a kid in private school like Governor Newsom, 97% of those kids are going to get full-time instruction. You know how many percent of kids that go to public schools get full-time instruction? 3%. So from all of that, it's time for us to resist. It's time for government to stop trying to criminalize people that just want to keep their businesses open, just want to send their kids to school, just want to protect the Constitution of the United States.